For me, success in your career is one thing, but we always have to be a little bit selfish about success for ourselves as well, because yes, we'll have great careers within organizations, but ultimately it's us that will continue to grow and develop through these different things. And these are just three areas that I think all of us should continue to work on, whether at the start of our career or the end, and anywhere in between. So really that's networking, that's people and finding your tribe, as the cool kids say today, and further education and furthering ourselves. So I think for me, networking, 100%. I cannot say it any more strongly. Put yourself out there, get out and build a network. And actually, you see some brilliant people these days building their network well beyond just attending events. So LinkedIn is a great tool for putting across your brand and what's important to you and what it is that you're trying to say. So I think for me, really important, what is it that you stand for? Why does that make you different to other people? What do you have passions and what makes you an expert in certain areas? Or what sort of social agenda do you drive and what's important to you? And how do you get that across? And how do you make sure that you are the one that's seen in that area? Now, networking isn't about going and trying to get 50 business cards and following them all up with sales leads afterwards. Networking is about meeting brilliant people, having a genuine conversation, genuinely being interested in what they have to say and conversing around that and making an impression on people. That's what networking means to me. It doesn't mean you come away with lots of sales leads. It means in the future, when someone might want something that you sell, they go, yeah, I remember chatting to Andrew. We had a great conversation about, I don't know, orca fishing or something in the sea or whatever. But it's something about how do you just make that connection with people? And also, I think that continues to go into your personal brand then. And there's a lot written around personal brand, but for me, it's just about what's important to you. What do you want to be known for? What do you stand for? And really then, how do you just take that out into your world of work? And I love the stage show Hamilton. And there's a scene in it where they say, what do you stand for, or what would you die for? And it's actually just making sure you understand what it is that's important to you. So I think for me, get yourself out there physically and on LinkedIn, create those connections and actually be bold and be something and be memorable. So that's the first thing, because the more people that know about you, the better.
Well, I love that, but I have questions.
Of course.
So be bold. I think that's the first thing. I think some people are worried about having a strong opinion, because particularly social media can have a lot of pushback and those sorts of things. So I think professionally, some people want to stay vanilla. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And I would challenge those people to say, okay, you could be middle of the road. That's cool for you. But if you really want to make something of yourself, you probably need to step outside that lane a little bit. Now, I'm not saying go and have dramatic political views on anything. I'm just saying find something that's important to you and be passionate about that maybe some other people don't wish to support as much as you do. So for me and for Pareto, LGBT plus rights, trans rights, that sort of stuff was always really important to me personally. And something I championed right from the beginning of my Pareto career, certainly, before it was cool, from that perspective, and actually willing to take some risk to be associated with that. And people will know me for my rainbow laces and all that sort of stuff, but always something I've worn and been incredibly proud of and passionate about, because it's the right thing to do. And it's more important today than it was 10 years ago when I started.
Yeah. And I have a second question about the networking piece. So talk to the person listening to this who is in a comfortable job, is happy where they're working, doesn't see the point of putting themselves out there because they'll probably be here for another 5 or 10 years. And what's the point? What's the point to them of networking?
Good question. You never know when things are going to change, right? That's one of the things. And we can all get very comfortable in our jobs, and we can get comfortable with, we think we're going to be here 5, 10, 15 years. Maybe we'll even retire here. But actually, COVID came out of nowhere, and these things can really just change the landscape completely. It's worth knowing people in a network. And also, you just never know when an opportunity may come along that someone knows about, that thinks you're the perfect person for that role. So in business, I get asked a lot about luck, like, were you lucky in Pareto and that sort of stuff. You create your own luck. The more people you know, the more lucky you can become. And that's a really important factor. So yeah, look, if you're comfortable where you are, great. But actually go and meet some interesting people. And FM is full of interesting people. And I would point people to Pareto. We ran a scheme called More Than Just FM, where people, we photograph them within their passions and their hobbies. People do amazing things in facilities management outside of their day-to-day roles. So there's some great people to go and chat to at these events as well.
Yeah, love that. I think you sold that, to be honest.
Yeah. Good. It worked for me. It worked for me, for sure.
Yeah, I love it. The second thing we were talking about before was your